Hi everyone, welcome back to Brain Dump. My name is Kai.
Get high, hit the floor, you go.
And this is a show where I talk about pretty much whatever the fuck I want to talk about. So, it's been a few weeks. I was gonna record an episode last Wednesday, ? And then I just never got to it. And then I went on vacation, went to Nashville. It was so much fun. Oh my god, I love Nashville. I would live in Nashville. There's so much music there, and we went to JBJ's, which is, if you don't know what that is, a John Bon Jovi's bar in Nashville. And it's relatively new. I think it opened like a year ago, but it was so great, so fun. I had a blast. Much needed vacation. I feel like I haven't taken a vacation in a hot minute, so it was nice. But I'm back. Go back to work tomorrow. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to it, if I'm being honest here. I love my job and I like going to work, but I don't feel like going to work. Especially just like, I wish so badly that I could do music full time. I wish that was an option for me, but it's not. Because yes, I do make money with certain gigs doing music, but it's definitely not enough to pay my 2 car payments and insurance and all the other things that I have to pay for throughout the month. So as of right now, I'm still stuck in retail. Not stuck. I like my job, and we know this. We've discussed this. I feel a little trapped, but that is okay, because that's just the way life goes sometimes. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about boundaries. I think I used to have a really bad way of setting boundaries, and I thought that setting boundaries meant that I would tell a person to do a certain thing, and then they do it. And that's a boundary. Hey, that's not a boundary. Because I would say, like, you know, when you're setting boundaries, it's typically because someone is doing something that doesn't make you feel the greatest. And so I think that I interpreted that as, if I tell this person what to do and they don't make me feel that way anymore, then all is fine. But the reality is you can't really tell people what to do. And most of the time, if you try to do that, you're not going to be successful. It's not going to work in your favor, because at the end of the day, I've said this so many fucking times, but you cannot control other people's behavior. You can only control how you respond to it. And I think that's a really important thing to remember when you're thinking about and just setting boundaries. That's something that is vital to know, because before I knew that, I just told people what to do, and I thought that that was a boundary. And there's an instance recently where I've realized I'm communicating boundaries and setting boundaries differently now, and it's working. Like, because I used to tell people what to do, and I would be disappointed when they wouldn't act the way that I wanted them to. And I think that this time around, when I've had a conversation recently with a person where I've had to set boundaries, and I've done it in a more healthy way, and like in a way that is best for me and the other person. And it's not me telling them what to do, it's me saying, I feel this way when you do this, or I feel this way when you say things like that to me, or when you talk to me like that. Instead of saying, you can't talk to me like that anymore. I used to think that that was a boundary, which it's not. In psychology, boundaries are the conceptual limits that define what's acceptable and healthy in relationships. So that's something that we can decide for ourselves. It's going to look different for everyone. Like I said, I think last episode, everyone has their own line where if you cross this line, goodbye, I think everybody's gauge of that is extremely different, and that's just the way we are as people. Because it's more important to be like, I feel this way when you do this behavior, rather than you make me feel this way. Because I don't think that's really a fair thing to say. Because some people may be doing something without them even realizing it, and then they're making you feel this way, but they don't even know that they're harming you because you haven't set that boundary. And if you come at them as like an attack and tell them, hey, you can't do this anymore, they may, it may catch them off guard. Like, oh, I didn't even know that I was doing this. Let me fix this. And you don't even give them the opportunity to be better. You just tell them what to do, and then it's like an angry, bad environment. And I don't like that. I want the relationships in my life to be healthy, and I don't want to tell people what to do anymore, because that's just controlling, and nobody wants to be around that. And I think I need to normalize the fact that it's going to feel selfish sometimes, and I'm going to feel mean, because I grew up in an environment with blurred and non-existent boundaries. And that's why I feel so guilty whenever I set boundaries, and why I have such a hard time with it, because when I was growing up, there was no healthy example of what a boundary was, and it was so just non-existent. I think that boundaries create more space for real connection, and they don't take away from that, because if a boundary takes away from a relationship, you know that that person isn't for you. And if they're not willing to respect your boundaries, that's how you test the limits of a relationship with someone. If they're not willing to, meet you halfway, meet you where you're at, then that may not be the right relationship, friendship for you. Like, everybody has their limits. And if somebody can't do that for you, goodbye. Like, it's not that big of a deal. There's a lot of people on this earth. And if somebody isn't able to respect you, why would you waste your time in entertaining that? I think the turning point for me was realizing that boundaries is about, like, staying connected with yourself and not controlling other people. Because controlling other people, it's impossible, and nobody wants that. I found this quote: "Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. They let the right things in and keep the harmful stuff out. You're able to decide who you open and close that door for." I used to think that if somebody gets upset by my boundary, I must be doing something wrong, or I'm asking too much of them. But like I said, if they're not able to meet you halfway or meet you where you are at, it's not worth it, because you're just hurting yourself. And at the end of the day, it's not good for either of you, because they may not be a bad person. I think that for the most part, people are good, and people may make shitty decisions, but I believe, at least for me, that people are good, and people have some sort of good within them, and some people they're not able to bring that out for, and that doesn't make it your fault, because that's them, and you can't control them. And the discomfort in boundary setting, it doesn't mean you're wrong, it just means you're out of your comfort zone, and I think that that's growth. So, yeah. That's about all I got for that. Maybe this was a little short. I feel like I've been yapping. I don't know. Yeah. I'm so tired. Like, I'm just so tired right now. Like, I slept good last night, but, going on vacation kind of sometimes takes it out of you, and I'm exhausted, and I think I'm going to take a nap before open mic night tonight. So, yeah, that's about it. Book of the week. Guys, I'm reading again. Crazy. I'm reading The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. It's really good so far. It's a psychological thriller. Of course, my favorite. Yeah, I'm only I think 150 pages in, but I read for a full hour the other day. It was right before I left for vacation. And then today, I read for half an hour at the library. That may not seem like a lot, but for the amount I've been reading in the past few months, which, hey, it's been nothing, that's big for me. So I'm baby steps. And I think I'm gonna start trying this thing called Lion's Mane. It's a supplement, and it's supposed to help you with focus and memory, which I kind of fucking need, because I feel genuinely my memory is so bad, and I hate that so much. But yeah. Songs of the week: Daisies by Justin Bieber, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, Love on the Brain by Rihanna, and Something Good by Alt J. Also, it's September 2nd today, so it is Suicide Prevention Month. Just remember, it is always okay to reach out. It's more than okay to reach out for help. It's growth when you're reaching out for help, and when you ask for help, it's not the end of the world. It's okay to do that, and don't be scared of judgment from other people, because we are all going through our own little battles in our head, and suicide is never the answer. Never. It's not. There are so many things to live for, and things that you may not have even discovered yet, because when I wanted to kill myself, there were so many things that I know now in my life that I didn't know back then, and I'm grateful for that time to be able to learn these things, and more time on earth, because I was so close to not having that, and that would have kind of fucking sucked, because my life's going pretty grand right now. But my life's going pretty grand. It's not the greatest, but hey, I think it's going well. Yeah, I'm happy. I am. So, yeah, I appreciate you. Once again, remember that you're loved, you're valued, and you're appreciated in this world. And just keep the conversation going about suicide awareness, because it's a real thing, and a lot of people die because of it. And just let the people know around you that they're not alone. So, I love you. Bye.
Something good. Oh, something